Hello everyone, it's Shinto Bean here playing some Warhammer 40k Warpforge, another 40k themed card game, which is now out on early access in Steam. You can play the full version of the game. As you can see here, we've got different game modes, practice mode, where you can play with a bunch of pre-constructed decks from every faction. We've got draft mode, and then multiplayer including ranked and unranked. If we go to the rewards section, we can see all the ways that you can get loot in this game, and the progression system, I gotta say, looks quite good from the start. It's still quite early on though, so it remains to be seen whether it will stay this way, but at least for now, we've got the daily login rewards, where you can get this red crystal, which apparently is unnamed, but it's used to upgrade your cards and do other things. We got daily skulls from damaging enemy warlords, and then daily missions, which will earn you progress towards the faction of your choice, which if you go to the campaign tab, you can choose which faction you want to work towards, and so playing games while you have selected that faction will get you more cards from that faction, essentially, that can be used in multiplayer. So it's actually very easy to unlock the starting deck for each faction. It only takes, I think, a couple of games, really, and if you go to the collection tab, you can see I have already unlocked all 6 of the starting decks for each faction. If we go to cards, you can see all the cards that you have obtained, and I guess if you get multiple copies of them, you can later then upgrade them to earn more rewards, although I haven't been able to do that yet. I got some cosmetics over here for the shop if you want to spend money on the game. We've got gold, which you can buy, and then you can also buy individual cards using that red crystal resource. I got cosmetics over here. But yeah, I mean, for a free-to-play game, it does look like the progression is quite decent, at least at the moment. Multiplayer is live PvP against other players, where you can test your strategic skill. Of course, you'll be starting off with the weakest version of the deck, though, so if you're matched against opponents with stronger cards, it may be kind of hard to win. Practice mode, though, you do get access to a bunch of powerful decks. Those will, again, contribute to your progression in the game, so we'll go ahead and try out a multiplayer battle here. I think we'll go with the first deck I unlocked was actually the Tyranid one, so I guess we can try that out, even though I think Tyranids are a bit weak. We'll see if we can pull off a victory here. So, if you haven't played the game, it's very similar to like Hearthstone gameplay-wise, or Horus Heresy Legions. We are up against the Space Marines, and so let's see, I think we'll get rid of that. We'll get rid of that. And maybe get rid of that as well. Each faction does have unique mechanics, which is pretty cool. And of course, the warlords, they all have like a
Warriors of
special
courage and honor.
Whatchamacallit, sort of ability for a different effect. It is the enemy's turn, so they are deploying a scout marine first.
Enemies in range.
Dealing 1 damage to my Turbogun warlord. And let's see, we could put Termagant here. I think we'll go ahead and just drop this Termagant, and then we'll punch that scout in the face, kill him. Basically how you want to win the game, though, is by just removing the enemy bodyguards as quickly as possible, and then either just deploying a really strong bodyguard or buffing a bodyguard you have, so it gets really big, or just outnumbering the enemy with massive numbers to beat down the enemy warlord more quickly. That's essentially how the gameplay works. Compared to Warhammer Combat cards, of course, there is a lot more strategy involved, I think, in this game. So I think we'll use this Termagant here to take down that Marine, hit it with a ranged attack. You can also choose either ranged or melee. Yeah, one thing that is kind of weird about this game is that the stats are a bit odd. All the warlords have the same attack value, like 2 melee, 2 ranged, versus bodyguards, which can be much stronger. Take, for example, Space Marines have like an Apothecary, which has 5 melee and 5 ranged attack. So it's much stronger than, like, you know, Ghazghkull, Thraka, or Imhotep. It just seems kind of weird. I think in that respect, Warhammer Combat Cards does a better job of sort of portraying the units as their stats should be. But in this game, I think it's the gameplay is definitely a lot more. There's a lot more depth to the gameplay. It takes a lot more strategy, and that's sort of the fun thing about this game. Also, again, we are playing PvP against live enemies, unlike combat cards where everything is just against the AI. For some reason, Ripper Swarms have a ranged attack. Not sure why. But yeah, Tyranids have this mechanic where they have like a swarm ability. I don't really have any other than this Ripper Swarm. So this one you can deploy up to 2 times and then combine it, fuse them together to form one bigger body. And we'll go ahead and punch Marnius Calgar here in the face. I just deployed a Ravener, which has a slightly stronger melee attack. I think a lot of the Tyranid bodyguards, though, don't really seem all that strong. Now, Marnius Calgar, I think his special ability is just to draw a card, yeah, for 2 energy. Got an Intercessor deploying, and he is getting buffed for melee, so, yeah, but he can't attack this turn, so I think we're good to go. Spore Assist, okay, that's actually pretty interesting. So this has a Synapse and Artifice, so Synapse allows you to spread the effects of a stratagem to adjacent cards. So we'll deploy this, and Artifice allows me to, gives me a Spore Mine whenever I play a stratagem, so that's pretty cool. I like the look of that, and then we can, I think we'll use the ranged attack on the Ravener to hit that guy. Again, hit the thing with the ranged attack, killing that Space Marine. So you can see here we have a pretty big advantage. 3 bodyguards to their 0. And the Spore Mine at the start of your turn, it blows up to deal 3 damage to a random enemy. That's pretty good. So he's going to want to kill that, which he could do with the ranged attack. And yeah, that's indeed what he's doing. Taking down the Spore Mine before it can deal any damage. But we do have more stratagems, and actually this is where the Tyranids are starting to go kind of crazy, I think, because check this out. We're going to give 3 health to this. I'm just going to spread the effects to the adjacent cards. We're going to get a Spore Mine. And then we can drop this as well. And then that's going to give us some more stuff. And then I think this counts as a stratagem, so I think we'll get another Spore Mine for that as well. Everything like going to the left side of the board here. Another Spore Mine. And then I think we might as well just drop a Termagant here, because why not? So yeah, that's a lot of stuff. And we can hit this dude. Boom. Take him down. We'll shoot Marnius Calgar with it. Whoa, that's a nice little animation. Yeah, the animations in this game are quite nice. And this is the first time I actually pulled off this Spore Mine combo. It's actually a lot of fun. So yeah, unless he has a way of just clearing out all these guys, which I think the Space Marines do have a card that's sort of a board wipe that can deal damage to everything on the board. Unless he has that, though, I think he's pretty much in some serious trouble. I do want to see what these Spore Mines look like when they blow up, so hopefully he doesn't forfeit here before my next turn. Got a Harspex. Okay, there's the Apothecary I mentioned earlier. And there's the Codex ability going off when the Space Marines spend all their energy. They have cards that get a bonus thing. So here, the Spore Mine should activate, I think. So boom, 3 damage there. Boom, that Apothecary is dead. And that is pretty awesome stuff. And then, yeah, we can just keep getting more. Ooh, I like this. Well, Zoanthrope, yeah, just throw the Zoanthrope down. Termagant in the hand. Get another Spore Mine. Keep shooting that guy. Keep hitting him. And yeah, going pretty well here, I'd say. Just use the ranged attack. Zoanthrope, what does this thing do? Synapse, so I need stratagems in order to do this, but yeah, it deals damage to a random enemy, that's pretty cool. That was a lot of healing just now. But yeah, as you can see, just if you can't deal with like the bodyguards, then you're just at a huge disadvantage, and it's gonna be really hard to make a comeback, I think. Here, yeah, we're gonna see again. Everything's just gonna get really huge from this, and we can get another Termagant and get more Spore Mines. We can deploy 2 Termagants and fuse them together to get one with double the stats. You can see the Synapse triggering here. The Zoanthrope goes off, dealing damage to the Warlord. And yeah, just deploy that Termagant and fuse this one together. We'll be able to shoot him. Psychic attack here. Another Spore Mine thing. Big ranged attack, or melee attack. And almost enough to end the game there in that one turn. But he's just hanging on with just barely any health. Looks like we do get some extra skulls here for dealing all that damage to the Warlord. So, really love the background here. It looks very nice. The artwork in the game is quite good. The animations they're all right. The cards do look a little bit small on the screen. I suppose once you know what things do, it's not that big of a deal. You can also zoom in on stuff. Spore Mine is going to blow up, is going to hit the Warlord, and yes it does, ending the game. So that was pretty cool. That is how Tyranids are supposed to work. So yeah, you can collect the points there, the campaign points from completing those missions. We also got a reward here from the Daily Skulls. And we can go back to the campaign tab, rather, and we can collect rewards here. Let's see how many points we have. 500 points, so we can get some rare cards. I guess we'll see what this earns us here. Oh, actually, I think that's not what I thought it was. We'll get a booster pack and see if we can pull any good cards here. So we have to go back to the shop and then open the pack here. See what we get. And a bunch of stratagems, a Ripper Swarm, and yeah, nothing that interesting. But yeah, let me know if you have tried this game out and what you think of it, and if you play Warhammer Combat Cards. I am curious to see how you would compare the two games. Of course, Combat Cards will remain my go-to game. I do still like the whole card collection aspect of that game, and I'm just so invested in it at this point that I don't really want to quit. I also just really like the charm of seeing the actual miniatures in the game. As nice as the artwork is in this game, you can't really beat seeing the actual models, in my opinion. But yeah, I will continue to play this game, and we'll see how it goes. But that's it for this one. Thanks for watching, and I will see you next time.